to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Let's go. Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen. Welcome back for another ZTC Zen Trap Chat. I'm one of your two hosts, Zen P.
Yogi LG.
The mission at the Zen Trap podcast is to inspire and empower people to continuously seek internal peace, to maximize their personal potential. Today we got a great episode for you. It is coming up on our 1-year anniversary from our first episode. January 31st was the date. So today we're going to give you an anniversary, kind of just recap, just give you updates on how the year went for us, what we like, what we didn't like, where we're trying to go, and what we all about here at the Zen Trap.
Yeah, if you think about starting a podcast, you can use us as a tool to kind of bounce ideas also off of, or kind of see our trajectory. But you can see what we did and how we got better, or how we improved, and what we changed. And we kind of just want to, tell you what Zen Trap is about. So, P, what does Zen Trap even mean to you?
So for me, Zen Trap is kind of a mix of not letting a stereotype hold you down, where they can say a black person got to be one or two things. They say if you black and you act white, then you over here, on that hippie side. That's the Zen side, where they be like, oh, if you professional, then you acting white, or if you code switching, all these other things, then you acting white. If you eating healthy, sometimes even you acting white. Doing things to almost better yourselves can sometimes be deemed as appropriating white in our culture. Whitewashed and stuff. And then, but it's still remembering that you can be trapped too, because if you come from the environment, everybody got people in their family, or they could be that person. So, and of the culture, we both indulge in trap music and things of that nature. So to me, Zen Trap to me is not putting yourself in a box. It's not saying that because I'm this, I have to do this, this, and this, or because I'm that, I have to do this, that, and that. Do it all. That's what I feel like it is. Living the gray. Living your gray. What does Zen Trap mean to you?
I agree with everything you said, but if I was to give you kind of my personal feel of what it is or what it means to me, is more so like it is a place where I want the people that I know, even the people that I don't know, the people in my demographics, outside of my demographics, to know that you can strive to be the best version of yourself, and you don't have to be put in that same box. You can still do that and do whatever you do, whether you sell narcotics, or whether you are a school teacher, or whether you are a CEO, and you still have room to grow, you still have room to better yourself, and you can strive to be your best self in whatever way you see fit. And hopefully you find something within this Zen Trap podcast and from us that empowers you to do that in your own way. It don't got to be our way, just in your own way. I just want people to be their best self.
Love that. Couldn't agree more. Definitely wanted to piggyback off that. Zen Trap is all about being your best self and searching within for those answers. Yep. Not looking for external validation, but finding the answers and continuously having that growth mindset through awareness and trying to figure out how you can better yourself, what you like, and knowing that you're an ever-changing person. Yep. Until you get like 55 or 60, and then you just be like,
stuck in your ways.
Stuck in my ways.
Thanks.
All right, so why do you do it? Why do you do this podcast? Why do Zen Trap podcast?
Personally, I think it's part of my purpose. I always say that, like, I want to create a safe space for people. I do that in my normal life. Anybody who knows me knows that I try to create a space where people feel comfortable being themselves.
An oasis of peace until she get riled up.
Hey, but whether that be having a good time, whether that be eating together, whether it be kicking it, going out, I want everybody around me to feel safe, to feel like they can be themselves. And that gives me great joy, and that is part of my purpose. And I think this provides me even more of a platform to do that for people. If you feel like commenting, if you feel like telling me something, if you see something that I say and it sparks your interest, feel free to hit me up. Feel free to talk to me, because I want to create that space for everybody I can. So this is just a pathway to be able to do that for the world, hopefully.
Wow, Lindsay for senator. Lindsay for senator.
What about you? What makes you do Zen Trap?
I do it probably for 3 reasons. Definitely the purpose one is in there, but that's not, I guess, one of my reasons. That's definitely why I do it. But if I have to give three, I think different reasons. One is to hopefully help people, to let them know that although what you may see on social media, everybody's posting their highs, and we don't have it all together. Like, we're working through things, we're trying things. We have bad days, bad weeks, bad moments. We are constantly trying to improve ourselves, and you're not by yourself. So hopefully to inspire and help people, as the mission says. Secondly, I do it for myself, for accountability. It really helps me feel like I have, like, again, with the purpose statement, almost for the second one, that I have something that I'm chasing for, and it keeps me accountable. Knowing that I'm going to come up here and talk about something, it makes me feel like I need to do it, actually. Like, I need to practice.
You need to practice what you preach. Yeah.
Shout out Teddy P. What's that, Barry White?
I think it's Barry White.
It's probably Barry.
Practice
Third one,
what you preach.
it's for fun, really. Like, when I say fun, some of the stuff to actually do the podcast may not be fun. Some of the working aspects to get it going, but looking back on the videos, I know it's fun, and having a documentation of certain stories and just times in your life is fun. And if I keep that at the forefront of my mind, it helps me to, again, stay accountable and try and help and inspire people.
Absolutely. I do think that it also, like, makes us bond, and we have moments where we, like, really are able to be our vulnerable selves on here in front of other people. So I think that's good for our friendship.
For sure. I think this may be stereotypical, or everybody probably feels this way, but I feel like our friend group, we be challenging each other so much. Like, we put each other through the ringer, like, always in the hot seat of, hey, you said you was gonna do that, or like, what's the update on that, or okay, it's okay, but when you gonna do it though?
Yeah, for sure. So how do you feel like the first year of PYPPYE went? Do you feel like it was successful? Would you give it a letter grade if you want to, or not? Just tell me how you feel like the first year went.
I don't have a grade for it per se. I think we stayed in action, doing things, trying things. We started off with guided meditations.
We did.
Those were fun.
Those were interesting for sure.
We've done a music video.
Yep.
We've read plenty of books. We've traveled. Like, we've tried a lot of different things in just the first year. So
that's amazing.
I don't have a personal grade for it. I'm just I'm glad with how much we put into it, and I don't regret anything about it. I think the first year went really, really well to me. Like, I think we learned very quickly. We adapt pretty quickly. I think if you ask anybody who has done podcasting, when you see their first couple of videos to further on videos, you can see drastic improvements. I really like the pace that we're going, where we're going. We got merch. We had a website going and stuff, coming up with the logo. Like, I think for a year we've been doing a lot of stuff. And even when we went to our podcast seminar training before we started, we was in there with other people like, oh, okay, we all right.
Yeah, we gonna be okay.
Get amongst your peers. Like,
I would love to see kind of like where everybody that was in that is. Like, that would be interesting.
Yeah, so what about you? How do you think the first year went? I think we should bring those guided meditations back every now and then.
Hey, we can throw in a guided meditation. Honestly, things like that did hold me accountable. So it
made us do it.
Yeah, I had to meditate, and I really had to get in that space to be able to provide that to y'all. But I feel like the first year went well as well. I think we have very, very ambitious goals, and I think because of that, we were able to get so much done in this first year. We could have just said, like, oh, let's just try to get a consistent recording and take it easy. But we had very ambitious goals, and I appreciate you for that. I appreciate myself for that. So I think it went well. I think there was a lot to learn. There's still more to learn. I think that it was overall a huge learning experience. I learned a lot about a lot of stuff about myself, about you, about what I feel comfortable saying to the world, what I don't feel comfortable saying to the world, what my boundaries are, having to set boundaries. I grew as a person through this podcast. So I think I would call it a success. It definitely put me out of my comfort zone.
I agree. So where do you want the podcast to go? Kind of what's some goals for Zen Trap that you feel comfortable talking about?
Um,
Or just personal goals towards
Yeah.
Zen Trap for yourself.
I
Either or.
think one of the biggest goals is I just want more of a following. Like I want to impact more people. I want to touch more people. I want to reach more people. And I think honestly we have a good message. What we're talking about, people need to hear. And maybe there's tweaks that we can make or that we're gonna make within the next year that will definitely get us there. But ultimately, I feel like the message that we have, people need to hear. And so that's one of the biggest goals. I want more followers on Instagram, more followers on YouTube, subscribers on YouTube. I want to get more views on each video, all that kind of stuff. So those are kind of some of the basic level goals I would like to reach within this next year. What about you?
One, I would like to see us do more things outside of just recording. So we talked about the topic for this month is goals.
Goals, baby.
So doing different things around goals, doing activities and recording that, bringing the followers and recording along with that so it's more active. And again, that makes it more fun for me. Doing things that I may or may not feel comfortable doing that can challenge me or things that I haven't tried before, learning new things. I want to do a lot more stuff like that because I want to keep, again, fun at the center of it, even though we are doing the awareness and the self-help stuff. I like to keep it fun. So, again, random stuff may pop out because this our podcast. We ain't in no box. We can do whatever we want.
We want, baby.
I like a little freestyle every now and then. I like a little random recap of something, a random trap. Like, I want to do whatever we want to do. That's how I want to keep it.
I feel that. That's what's up. I also think like we want to get the logo trademarked, copyright, whatever, copywritten. What's the past tense of copyright? Copywritten. Copyright. Okay. So just things like that. We got some small goals, some big goals that we all want to get accomplished. But we would love to hear from you. Like, what's something that you can see us doing within the next year that you feel like would shift us or help you? Something that you may want to see. Feel free to let us know for sure.
Yeah, we for sure got some stuff coming. We got, I ain't gonna really tell you, but we got some stuff coming. We're gonna be more communicative. We're going to talk to y'all more.
There we go.
We're going to start doing, I ain't going to call it random, but it's going to feel random. We're going to start doing more random things on social media. Again, like I said, with the activities, going to be trying more activities. Might, again, I'm going to told you about a mixtape. Might have a mixtape dropping soon. Y'all ain't going to be ready for that coming out of nowhere. And again, I just want to make sure we're doing stuff that don't put us in no box. Yeah. I just want to keep doing fun activities. Maybe even have some more interviews, guest appearances coming on to talk to people about how they live in, how their mental health is and self-awareness journey has been and what they've learned. So a lot in store for this year, I feel like.
Yeah. Do you feel like, I'm going to speak to our mission. Our mission is to inspire and empower people to continuously seek internal peace to maximize their personal potential. But do you feel like you found more peace during this podcast? Do you feel like you're reaching your potential even more? Do you feel like the mission is impacting you yourself?
The mission is not necessarily impacting me, but it gives me a reminder of why I'm doing it and what the purpose is.
Well, I'm not saying the actual mission. I'm saying like what the mission says. Do you feel like you're accomplishing that in your personal life? Like, do you feel like you're empowered to seek internal peace, to continuously seek that internal peace?
Yes, I always feel like I'm empowered to do that. Like, I don't feel like it's nothing that can stop me from seeking that. Like, there is no barrier for me to experience joy or peace. I can have those moments in the most trauma-filled circumstances, even though I know I may have feelings that make me sad or make me down or circumstances or things outside of my control, but I'm always in control of almost empowering myself to find peace. And that's something that only I can be in control of, because if I'm not, it just puts you in that other mindset of not feeling in control, anxious, and it's almost being in that mindset of having values and beliefs that serve you. What is effective and efficient for you? You may even be lying to yourself sometimes. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Some values and beliefs may not be logically true, but the real purpose of it is, does it positively serve you? Does it help you get to your goals and get to the result that you need without disrupting your peace or hurting or harming people around you? That's the type of energy I'm on with this. What about you?
Well, I would say like I feel like the podcast or doing Zen Trap, listening to even when we edit, you got to listen to videos back and you kind of hear the holistic view of what we're saying on the podcast. Going back and watching videos that we did about different books or videos has empowered me. It makes me accountable to continuously seek internal peace. It makes me say like, Lindsay, are you maximizing your full potential? So I would say that the mission is we're accomplishing the mission as far as it comes to me, as far as me. So I think the podcast has definitely helped me become a better person, ultimately.
I love that. It's just tough when you're talking about maximizing your potential because nobody knows the caps. There's no limit to your potential. As we've seen, I've been researching and seeing different things. Age is usually not a factor. That's something in the way. One of the people that's had one of the longest planking records is like 71 or something, going for like 8 hours, 10 hours or something. So it's your mind is the only thing limiting you. Your mind, your beliefs, and you need to be challenging those occasionally, often, I would say.
Not even occasionally, often.
Often, like, don't be too rigid in those.
Cool. All right. Is there something that outside of maybe like our goals that you want for Zen Trap? Like you want personally, like I want this for Zen Trap, or maybe even for our listeners.
I would love to do a Zen Trap like retreat with some of our close friends or listeners, whoever wants to go. We take trips all the time. I would love to have a Zen Trap type of retreat, almost similar to what we did at the cabin, where we go on hikes, or if we had a beach place, we go on like do little like workouts. We do some meditations. We chop it up and just talk about life, whatever people are stressing with. We talk about setting goals, do all these different type of activities. I would love to do something outside of Zen Trap like
good.
that.
That's good.
Yeah, like
that's dope.
Not even a workshop, really,
it's a retreat. Yeah, that's it.
Whole ass.
Because it's gonna be a treat. That would be a treat for sure.
Because I mean, we gonna turn up too. It's gonna be a Zen side.
It's gonna be some
half
trap.
Of it,
you hear me?
It's gonna be a piece of trap in there.
It's gonna be some trap.
What about you?
Honestly, I don't have anything outside of kind of some of our goals, but ultimately I would love to get like some young 18, 19, 20-year-olds on this wavelength of like seeking self-awareness, maximizing their potential, finding their peace, finding their zen. I would like to somehow maybe get some like mentorship going with some preteen, or not preteens, but like young adults, teens, to really like try to shake that mindset. Because I imagine how much more confident I would have been, how much more or how much further along maybe I could have been if I would have had this mindset and somebody would have been nurturing this mindset when I was 16.
It's hard. Well, it was hard for me at least. It's hard to receive that sometimes from people older than you, especially at that age. So that would be a challenge for me on how to even reach them, because you got to meet them on their level.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like I got a nephew that I talk to, and when I talk to him, I can almost sense like, oh, okay, if I tell him about this, he gonna receive it. I
feel that, and
certain people, certain kids. I ain't gonna call them kids. It's certain people in those age ranges that, like, it's almost like the seed is already planted. You just need to water it.
Yeah, it's easy to talk to them because they looking for it. I'm talking about literally going out. You go you get either assigned or you find these teams at the
Yeah.
school, it's hard to try and give that to someone who ain't
Yeah, if you ain't ready to receive
really
it,
looking for it.
But I know there's
And
specific.
I feel like those are the people most in need, though. Because the people who are kind of searching for it and already to see this planet, I'm not too worried about them. Like, you going to be all right.
Well, I feel
You know
like
what I mean?
yes, they are gonna be all right. What I'm saying is, I was kind of that 17-year-old where the seed was already planted, but nobody nurtured it, and so it took a while for me to really get in that space. Versus if I get in that space going into college, the sky's the limit on where I could have been. So I'm not saying, yeah, I agree. There are people that are more in need, but they may not be able to receive it. I'm saying because they don't have that seed planted. But there's some people with the seed planted that if we nurture it, they can run circles around us. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Because I knew you in college too. I feel like my seed was planted as well. Like, I respect certain people,
Yeah.
certain people I'm gonna listen to and stuff. But they would have to do so much work to meet me where I'm at, is what I'm saying. Because even if I'm looking for it a little bit, I'm not looking for it enough with, like, I ain't even gonna lie, in college, they say, hey, we gonna meet once a week. No, we not. No, we not. Like, you gonna have to come, hey, Paris, I said we meeting once a week. All right. Like, you would have, like, it would have to be, so even at 18, so you gonna have to do a little bit of footwork. And this ain't for no real grade or nothing either.
I wouldn't like
catch
that.
me.
I wasn't like that.
What you mean?
If I found myself intrigued by somebody, I would just
And again, that's making it, you got to be intrigued by them.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying is I feel like
How many people were you intrigued by? Like,
oh,
honestly.
I mean, when
Exactly.
I was 18, there was plenty of people. There was probably I could count at least 4 or 5 people in college I was intrigued by. Professor level.
Professor level?
Professor level, yes. That if they would have been like, hey, come to my office, let's talk. Like, let's sit down and have a real conversation about life and where you going and what you want to do and how I got to where I'm going. And I would have been like, bet, I'll meet you in your office. What time?
I agree with that. I don't disagree.
So I think there's people out there, but it is a select group of people. I know that's specific. But, you know, that's a very ambitious goal. But I think it's something that I can definitely start to nurture for Zen Trap.
I think that would be amazing. I'm just worried about the youth that's not already have the seed planted. I still worry about how to pull them up.
Yeah, I understand. I mean,
It's got to be a culture.
we
shift.
only a year in, so I'm grateful for this year, and I think the next year is gonna produce even more flowers. It's gonna blossom, and I'm looking forward to that for sure. Anything else you got to reflect on for the year, the first year of Zen Trap?
No, not really. Like I said, listed off a lot of stuff that we did. We got a lot of stuff we want to do. But love to hear from you. Again, we
For sure.
will message and respond back. If you have some things that you like to hear us talk about, or you just got candid, if you ain't got feedback, that like honest feedback, then it's whatever.
All right, this has been another Zen Trap Chat. I'm one of your 2 hosts, Yogi LG.
Zen P,
If you can't do nothing else, protect your peace.
protect your energy.
It's the Zen Trap.
We out.
We out.